Howdy everyone. I'm back at it again. Spring is here. The ice has cleared off most of the lakes here in Minnesota. We still have about a week until the main fishing season opens where we can target bass, pike, and walleye. But crappie are fair game right now, so we're gonna try to find some of them today. I'm out here at a lake I've never fished before. So we'll see if we can find those crappie out here. And off we go. I'm gonna get my fish finder running here. So I did check the DNR survey numbers for this lake, and it does have a decent number of crappie. And it's got a small bay up here on the north end, similar to some bays on some other lakes where I found crappie this time of year, so I figured that'd be a good place to start. Got my usual slip bobber rig tied on my spinning rod, so we'll paddle into here and see if there's any crappie hanging out. Hey, there's a turtle. Oh, he saw me. He ran. Oh, my bobber's going down. We got something. What do we got here? Ooh, man, this is a fight or whatever it is. It might be a bass. I think it is. Yeah, it is. Well, darn it, I was hoping that was a crappie, but I believe that's my first largemouth of the year. I'm not supposed to be targeting these guys, but I'm not really targeting bass with that little Nico waxworm. Accidental catch. But hey, he gets us on the board. I haven't really seen much in here yet, other than a couple of turtles. But it is about 11 a.m. right now. It's still kind of cloudy. I think if that sun comes out this afternoon and warms this bay up a little bit, that could really get the bite turned on and the crappie moving into here. So we've got a little bit of a point here. This looks kind of fishy. We'll see if there's any crappie hanging out off this point. I haven't found any yet. I have caught a couple little largemouth bass, but I'm still looking for that first crappie of the day. Hopefully they're in here somewhere. Oh, I just had a bite there. Ooh, I knew this point looked fishy. Toss it right back over there. I did start on kind of the calm side of the bay over there too. A lot of times I tend to find those crappie on more of the windy side. So we do have a little bit of a chop going into this point here. Come on now, I just got bit over there. I know there's fish over there, at least one. Looked a little bit different than those bass bites too. I think that was a crappie. Bobber down. We got something on here. Let's see what we got. Is it another bass? I don't know. Ooh, I think it's a crappie. It sure is. Nice. First crappie of the day. That's not a bad little fish. Probably about a 10.5 inch crappie. Well, it's good to see that they're back here in this little bay. Hopefully that's the first of many. So I'll give you guys a quick look at the setup I'm using here today. I've got a short little, what is this, a 5'9" medium power extra fast action St. Croix Legend Tournament walleye rod. I really like this little rod for panfish. It's about perfect for crappie. And then I've got a Abu Garcia Revo MGX 20 size spinning reel. I'm running 6-pound trilene line on there. And I've just got a slip bobber set up. It's pretty much my go-to for spring crappie fishing. Got a bobber stop there, maybe 1.5 feet of line out beneath my little jig here. And what I'm using is a 1/16 ounce VMC tungsten Mongo jig with a 1-inch Nico wax worm. I just put a little dab of super glue there to glue that wax worm onto the jig. And I mean, once I rig one of those up, that'll catch me fish all day long. That Nico plastic is super tough. I mean, I'm not going to lose that unless I get a mean old pike chewing on my rig. Get my line untwisted. And we'll see if that crappie is just hanging up here by himself or if he's got some buddies over there with him. This looks like a fishy spot here. Especially out a little bit deeper off the end of that point. I wouldn't be surprised if the school of crappie is over here. There's another one. Couldn't quite tell. I think that was another crappie though. Yes, it is. About the same size as that last one. I've got to be careful landing them today so I don't break my 6-pound line. I had a feeling I was forgetting something when I left home this morning. Sure enough, my net got left behind in the garage. Crappie number 2. All right, we found him. Usually the tough part is finding that first fish of the day. Once you find that first one, you've usually got some friends not too far away. Ooh, 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 ooh. Oh, pulled it too soon. That's right. We'll toss it right back over there. Right about there. That's where I just missed him. He's still over there. I'll give my bobber a little pop. Sometimes that's all it takes to get those fish to commit. Worked that time. That looked like another crappie too. Oh yeah. We're finding them now. Look at that. Beauty of a crappie. They are such pretty fish, aren't they? All right, we'll send that one back. Ooh, I was just going to twitch my bobber there and something grabbed it. I think it's another bass. Oh, you get out of those weeds. That was no crappie. He's got me all up in these weeds. I do not want this fish to break me off. Come here, you. Well, that's a decent largemouth right there. Definitely the biggest one of them I've caught today. Nice. We'll get him back quick, since I'm not supposed to be catching them anyway. I mean, you can catch them, you're just not supposed to be targeting them. And obviously, I'm not targeting bass with that little crappie jig. Now, if I was out here throwing the whopper plopper or a big old spinner bait and DNR rolled up on me, I'd have a tough time explaining that one, but yeah, it's tough to keep those bass away from your little crappie jig sometimes. I am catching some crappie in here though. Got a few out of this spot so far. Seems like right off of these little patches of pencil reeds. That's where the crappie seem to be hanging out today. At least all of them that I've caught so far. Let it sit there for just a second while I dry my hands off. Not quite warm enough out here yet to be sitting out in the kayak with wet hands. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I knew somebody was nibbling it over there. There's a crappie. Nice. That's about the same size as pretty much all of them. I think one of them might have been just a tad bit bigger. Not a bad fish. Oh yeah, there's definitely a hungry fish over there. Come on, take it. Nibble, nibble, nibble. Give it a little pop. That got him. Not sure if this is a bass or a crappie. Oh, it's a bluegill or a pumpkin seed. Nice. Wow, look at that fish. Well, that explains why I was biting a little bit funny. That one nibbled a little bit more than the crappies seem to have been so far today. Yeah, I was finding quite a few crappie back there behind me, but unfortunately the lawn crew showed up with a couple of leaf blowers, so I figured I'd keep moving along. explore a little bit. Yeah, I think we found the bluegill down here. I got something nibbling away at that jig again. Oh, had him for a second. Oh, I kind of figured I'd work my way around this bay. See if those guys finish up with their yard work. If not, I might go paddle around a little bit. I think there's another bay way down there at the opposite end of the lake. I was looking at it on Google satellite maps. I couldn't quite tell if it connects to the lake or if there's a little chunk of land separating the two, but I'm tempted to paddle over there and give it a try. Should be a little bit more quiet over there at least. Well, I spent about a half hour paddling down here to the far end of the lake, and unfortunately it doesn't look like that bay actually connects. Oh, maybe it does there. It's kind of weak that they put up the gate here, because if it wasn't for that I could probably sneak through there in my kayak. Dare I say that's an illegal move on their part, putting that up there. Actually, you know what? I honestly don't give a crap about their sign, because if I can get through without getting out of my kayak, that sign means nothing. Yeah, I don't know if I'll be able to though. Nope. There's the bay over there. Unfortunately, it doesn't actually connect. And the spot I was thinking about dragging my kayak over, they've got no trespassing signs, so honestly, I'm not sure if we'd find much back there anyway, because if it doesn't physically connect to the lake, I don't think the crappie have a way to migrate back there into that bay. Well, I might fish my way around this end of the lake a little bit. I don't think we're really going to find much. The water temp is about 5 degrees colder out here on the main part of the lake. Well, it was a bust down here at this end of the lake. I wasn't able to get into that bay like I hoped I'd be able to. And the water temp is about 4 degrees colder on the main lake here compared to the bay where I caught those crappie earlier, so figure if we're gonna find any more active fish, that'd probably be our best bet. Sounds like they're still going at it with the leaf blowers, but I might paddle back up to that spot where I caught those crappie earlier and see if we can catch a couple more before I get out of here for the day. Ooh, it was a pike. It was a decent pike right there. It's the only fish I've seen out here on the main part of the lake so far. Hey, geez, I thought that was a bass. Nope, there's a crappie I'm looking for. Come here, little buddy. Well, I didn't find any off the point over there where I found them earlier. They might have just moved down the shore here a little bit. What is that, number 6, I believe? Not hammering them today, but we are finding a few. I think a couple more weeks, once it warms up a little bit more, this bay will be absolutely loaded with them. Let's see if we got another one here. Nope. That one's a little bass. Oh, thank you. Didn't even have to slime my hands up. Well, I think I'm gonna catch one more crappie, hopefully, and that'll probably about do it for today's trip. There we go. I got somebody nibbling. I get him? Oh yeah. Little bass. I think that crappie I got was right up there. Probably drifting in on that spot a little bit now. Oh, there's somebody nibbling now, I think. Oh yeah. There's another crappie. Just a little guy, but hey, it's my target species at least. I'll take it. All right, you guys, I think that's gonna do it for today's trip. It's kind of a quick little afternoon trip out here to try a new lake, but it was a fun afternoon. We found some fish. It's always nice when you can try a new spot and have some success. We did have to work for them a little bit, but I caught half dozen or so crappie, about the same amount of bass, a couple of pumpkin seeds. Yeah, I think a couple more weeks and the bite is going to be on in here, so I might have to come back and try this lake again sometime. A decent little lake. Well, I enjoyed it. I hope you guys did too. Thanks for coming along with me again. I'll see you next time.